Good day. So I got a quick one for you here today. It's a they call it the Springfield Model 67. This is a Series E. So to my understanding, like they were built by Savage. The Springfield in this case, in this namesake, is it was like the Savage Stevenson's economy line of guns, more utilitarian rifles, things like that. So actually, a buddy brought me this gun because he was saying that the action arm comes loose from the bolt a lot, and then you're not able to rack it. And I'm gonna take a look, but I think I know why. So as I'm taking it apart, I guess I'll just show you guys how to do it. So of course you start with your stock, take your butt cap halfway off, and I had a big flathead screw in there. I had to use quite the extension to get her out. So you take your stock off. And from here you can pretty well go right into the trigger assembly there. So up front here, right here, you do have a pin, and that one can just push out. This guy probably needs a tapping. Get that pin out of there, and then you flip her over. On your other side, just above your safety there, your release, there is a screw, and it shouldn't be in there very tight. Buzz that right out of there, and then your trigger housing will just slide out. One kind of piece, your elevator and everything is right on it. You can tell by the quality of these guns. They're just cheap stamped kind of guns. All right, so that'll expose the carrier and the bolt and everything, and it will be attached to the arm, so you'll have to unhook that. And so already right here I can see a little piece in here that hooks onto the action arm with a little dovetail. I'll take that out of there and I'll show you why this gun probably doesn't cycle properly all the time. So you bring your slide all the way back, so your action arm is at the very end, and if you just kind of get a screwdriver in right here, you can pull that aside and then pop your bolt and everything right out of there. Alright, so from there, go back to your front end, and kind of by your magazine lug there is a screw, and you can take that out, and I would just advise holding on to the cap on the end of your magazine as that's all that's holding that spring in there. So you can take that screw out of there, and as you lift up on this, it will want to shoot out, so you can just let the spring go out slowly. Put your cap aside, put your spring aside, and then everything should slide out. And you can just leave your tube and your mag and your follower and everything all together, your pump and your mag. And right there you've pretty much got the gun taken apart. And so this is the part here. So this little piece right here, you see it just sits in there. And over years of that banging around, it's just really loosened it. And so you can see right here where that would match up. So if that's the bottom of your gun, this would slide in there. Well, it'd sit in there like that. And that grabs that. And that moves your carrier, moves your bolt, racks everything. So that's probably the culprit. If you consider yourself handy, you probably could just grind a piece by hand with a Dremel or something and a little bit of a filing to fit that. But I'm just going to let the guy know what's wrong with it and put it back together. Should be an easy fix. Alrighty, so reassembly. You can, if you want to, just start again with your pump there. And so you get your action arm in and line your magazine up and your pump and everything up. And then you want to feed your mag spring back in there. Just fed most of the way in. You can grab your cap, feed your spring into there, and then you can just kind of work them in tandem. Get that spring in there and get everything nice and tight where it should be. Just like so, and just drop your screw right back in there. That'll hold your tube together and your pump in, and you won't have to worry about that spring in your magazine again. Alright, so now back to the other end. And so for putting the bolt and everything back in, you'll be able to see exactly how they sit in together. Other way. Just like that there, and make sure you keep that little that piece that grabs your arm on there. And right from the back, you should be able to just slide everything in, just get her started, and of course you can bring your action arm back again, and then get it around that little dovetail, just like so. That should all slide into place, and then you should be able to clip your action arm right back onto your carrier, just like that, and everything's working fluidly again. So from there, your entire trigger housing can just drop right back in. I like to try to line up the holes where that pin sits first, and then just get everything kind of held together. Get those lined up and your pin started. A little bit of tap in there, and then just line up your screw in the back there. Alright, so nothing to this gun at all, and then of course you put your back stock back on, and that's pretty well it right there. I mean, pretty simple gun to take apart, pretty simple gun to manage. Just a lot of design flaws in this rifle. From what I've read, they weren't very favored rifles, and judging by the amount of series numbers they were, they probably had to go back and fix a lot of things. But if you got one, that's how you take it apart, and you might be facing the same problem as well.